Thanks for tuning in to the Down in Front podcast. Here we give you our special segment called Dollar Bin Reviews, where Guillermo go and reviews movies that he finds in iTunes. Thank you very much and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Down in Front podcast. This is Guillermo speaking. Today we're doing a solo episode. I haven't been able to hang out with the guys that much, but I still want to talk to you guys, It's good to hang out. All the random doubts in the world. Keeping up with the traditions, I am sipping on coffee. It's a very pretty morning in Boston, and I just, want to hang out. I can't hang out with the guys all the time, so I just want to hang out with you guys. Screw them, Who needs those guys, anyway? But anyway, let's get to it. So guys, I've been finding a couple of really, really good movies over in the iTunes section where they put out 99-cent movies. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They put out 99-cent movies for rental, and, they tend to be pretty cool. The past few weeks, I found one movie that I never heard of, which was phenomenal. One that I wanted to see. It wasn't that good. And two that I already saw, but then I revisited. So I'll start with the one that I didn't know what it was and I found. That one is called The Autopsy of Jane Doe. It's a horror movie. It takes place in a coroner's office, obviously, because they're doing autopsies. I'm gonna try to do these reviews without giving you that much of a spoiler alert, just because it's just me. So I don't want to get into that conversation by myself, but it's pretty cool because that movie, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, I didn't even see it being advertised, and it's phenomenal movie. It's a horror movie. It has very good actors in it. Brian Cox is one of them, and Emile Hirsch is the other one. Those are the two main characters. The Jane Doe is technically a character too, but she is dead. Figure that one, huh? So yeah, Jane Doe comes in. They need to figure out what killed the body, and fun stuff happens. The twist on that movie is very good. The acting is very good. I think the directing is pretty good too. Gives you enough of a thriller or tension to keep you interested in the movie without being, I guess, too modern horror, where it's all about the jumps and all about the scares. So if you guys can see it, you definitely should. I don't think it's not that I don't think, I know it's not on the iTunes 99 cents movies anymore, but if you can watch it, definitely do. Great movie. The second movie that I wanted to talk to you guys about is Jack Reacher. That's the second movie in the entry of the series. Not as good as the first one. I was really hopeful for it because I loved the first one. The first movie was, I think it was almost like a sleeper hit. I don't remember it being that much of advertisement for it, or I don't even remember seeing it in the theaters actually. And that first movie was phenomenal. Very good movie. The second one, it felt a little bit more generic. You can definitely see that you can definitely see the gears turning in that, hey, we potentially have a new billion-dollar franchise here. Let's bring it up to that speed. And that in itself is, I think, the downfall of the movie. It felt more like a generic modern action movie, in the same way of any of the Mission Impossible movies, any of the Star Trek movies, any of the Fast and the Furious movies and all those, where they almost feel like they're a generic type of movie that gets slapped with, the movie of the day theme, and they lost me. I don't think it was as good. Tom Cruise is solid. Kobe Smulders it's solid too, but it felt a little too generic. Can you see it if you find it? Yeah, I mean it's a nice fun movie, but it's not as good. I'd rather you guys watch the first one and then watch the second one. The third one that I watched was The Arrival. The Arrival is a really good movie. Very good. I saw that one in the movies, in the theaters with a couple people, and they all liked it. And I saw it for 99 cents, so I wanted to revisit it. Very good. It's a very good movie. It's a sci-fi, thriller, I guess. I would say like a sci-fi thriller movie. Stars Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. They're trying to figure out why aliens are here, pretty much, and they do it through the language of the aliens, out of all things. So in traditional, in traditional extraterrestrial movies that they come in and trying to take over the world, they try to figure out why they're here because of their motives or their technology. This one is strictly by language, and the language piece of it is, I think, what makes a movie so good, because it's such a peculiar or unseen way of figuring out why they're here, that it keeps you very interested in the movie. Amy Adams is perfect in it, and Jeremy Renner is very good in it too, and it's just a very, very well thought out movie. Very interesting. It will keep you wanting more, let's just say that, and the payoff is really good at the end too. The second one that I watched, well, at this point the fourth one that I watched, but it's the second one that I already watched but I wanted to see again, was last week's 99-cent movie. It was called Allied. Allied stars Marion Cotillard and Brad Pitt, and it's almost like a thriller too. It's a spy thriller. It's a slow movie. It's very good, but it's very slow. There's a lot of nuances in the movie, and I think that they want you to become a spy when you watch the movie too, as a viewer, so you can figure out the way that they talk to each other, the way they act. You have to be okay being taken along for the ride and being active in watching the movie in order to enjoy it, because it is slow, but it's very good. Very, very good movie. I definitely recommend that one too, just because it's just good acting, it's just good movie making. The same with The Arrival. The Arrival is one of those movies that makes you happy movies exist, because it's good. It gives you a good, like it's almost like a good adventure. Like you come out of the movie and you're like, this was very satisfying. So those two movies are really good. The Autopsy of Jane Doe is a phenomenal horror movie. The Jack Reacher, it's a good generic action movie, but it's not special. And that would be all for it today, guys. I would definitely recommend checking out the 99-cent section of iTunes. They change it every week, and like I said, sometimes you get generic normal movies, and sometimes you get really, really good finds like Jane Doe. Keep it up. Watch us in YouTube. We have a YouTube thing, and have fun, watch movies, and drink beer, because it's always good. So this is Guillermo, and see you guys.
Thank you, Guillermo. I really appreciate it. And as always, we all hate you as well. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Down in Front podcast. Check us out on Twitter. We have on Twitter at _JFP. That's _JFP. We're going to be on Facebook, facebook.com/Down in Front podcast, as well as our Patreon. Just for $1, you can help us keep the podcast going. Let us go to movies, actually talk about it. We actually have more and more special guests, and we actually have an interview episode coming up, so that's going to be amazing. Patreon.com/downinfront, as well as we have an email. So if you want us to do any sort of other reviews and anything else that you want to actually talk about, email us, downinfrontpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks so much, and we hope to see you soon.